Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here. And today we've got a wild lineup of clips ranging from bizarre glitches in the Matrix to sightings of never-before-seen cryptids that will blow your mind. Ready? Well, let's dive right in. The US presidential election season is often full of buzz, but this year, one incident at one of Kamala Harris's rallies has really caught people's attention. During her speech, a keen observer spotted something unusual in the crowd. Behind her stood a man who seemed to be staring intently at her when, suddenly, his eyes appeared to turn completely white. Though the footage is a bit blurry, the camera zoomed in on him, and for a brief moment, it looked as if his eyes had lost all color. Then, just as suddenly, they returned to normal. This eerie moment has sparked a lot of online chatter, with some calling him a demon or suggesting there might be something otherworldly about it. What do you think? Could it just be a trick of the camera or something more mysterious? Let us hear your thoughts. A man was out hunting in the woods, listening carefully for the sound of movement when he heard some leaves rustling. He thought he had finally spotted his game, but what he saw instead was far more unsettling. Above a bush, there was a blurry, almost transparent shape. It looked as though something was trying to camouflage itself, blending in with the surroundings. Despite its attempt to remain hidden, you could still make out its presence. What could this be? A cloaked alien, some kind of advanced military technology, or something else entirely? I guess we will never really know. A woman was walking home one night, taking a shortcut through a wooded area. Partway down the path, she began to feel that familiar chill, as though something or someone was watching her. To ease her nerves, she pulled out a camera and began filming her surroundings. As the camera panned across the trees, it captured a shadowy figure lurking behind a tree to the left. The figure was pitch black with eerily glowing eyes. The woman did not hesitate when she saw it. She turned and sprinted out of there as fast as she could. Now, many people believe this could be a shadow person, while others think it's a skinwalker. But you've seen the clip, so what do you think it is? A home ring camera picked up something truly strange in someone's backyard. In the dead of night, a person can be seen moving away from the house, walking directly toward the fence. But here's the eerie part. This figure does not stop. It just glides right through the wooden fence as if it isn't even there. You can see the shadow of this person passing in front of the light, so it seems real enough. It even looks like a man in a cap. But that ability to move effortlessly through solid wood, well, that's definitely not something we'd call human. So what's going on here? Are we seeing some kind of superhuman ability, or is this figure a ghostly presence caught on film? Let's dive into two eerie pieces of footage captured by different people at unknown locations, showing something massive and unexplainable behind the clouds. In the first video, a man noticed an odd shape lurking behind a large cloud. At first, it looks like an ordinary part of the blue sky, but the top of this object is curved, almost dome-like, while the rest seems to be hidden behind the cloud. It gives the strange impression that something is cloaked in the sky. The second clip is taken by a woman during sunset. It shows something even more dramatic. Against the bright orange horizon, there's a massive curved shape, larger than the first sighting. Bright flashes seem to illuminate the area, briefly highlighting what appears to be a dome-like sky. What could these shapes be? Are they just oddly shaped clouds, or is there something much larger and more mysterious hidden up there? Aaron thinks something extraterrestrial may be at play here. What say you? If you've been on this channel all year, you might be familiar with some strange orange orbs we shared that have been captured around the globe. Well, they return again in this next clip. Take a look. A home security camera captured something mysterious in a backyard that bordered a wooded area. In the footage, a bright orb appeared, floating slowly from the left side of the screen to the center. It hovered there for a while, almost as if observing the area, then calmly floated back to the left and disappeared from view. What could this be? Some might say it's a bug or a dust particle reflecting light, but its movement and brightness seem unusual. Others speculate that it could be a spirit orb, a phenomenon often associated with paranormal activity. The theories are endless, but one thing's certain: no one knows for sure what we are dealing with. Do you? Have you ever heard of people emitting electricity? No? Well, this couple shared a video that has everyone talking.
Every time we touch, we shock each other. Okay, ready? We're gonna kiss. This happened the very first time. It hurt so bad. It just hurts your lips really bad. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm not mentally prepared. Love you.
Oh my god.
Dude, you touch me.
That was the little
Every
one.
single time we touch.
They went out to a grocery store together, and suddenly they noticed something strange. Every time they touched, there was a small zap. They even tried kissing, and you can actually hear a faint zapping sound. This kept happening every time they made contact. The couple had left their house together with nothing out of the ordinary. This bizarre electric spark between them continued until, eventually, when they tried to shake hands one last time, it stopped. After that, they were able to continue their day without any more shocks. Can anyone explain what was going on?
Every time we touch, we shock each other. Okay, ready? We're gonna kiss. This happened the very first time. It hurt so bad. It just hurts your lips really bad. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm not mentally prepared. Love you.
Oh my god.
Dude, you touch me.
That was the little
Every single time we touch.
During a road trip, a woman decided to pull over and take a break. She parked her car and walked a few steps away when she noticed something unusual on the ground. It looked like a thick black substance, almost like engine oil. At first, she thought a car might be leaking, but then something strange happened. The dark, oily-looking substance started to shift, almost like it was alive. It moved across the ground in a way that didn't seem natural at all. Could it have been some kind of strange living matter, or maybe an unknown type of liquid reacting to the environment? man was out for a nighttime walk when he noticed something strange in the sky. It was a large group of tiny white objects hovering and moving in unison. He started filming, puzzled by what he was seeing. At first glance, it looked like a flock of birds, but he soon realized that the objects didn't behave like any birds he'd ever seen before. Instead of flapping wings or scattering randomly, these white dots moved in a tight, coordinated formation, gliding smoothly across the sky. Many viewers speculate that this could be a new kind of UFO phenomenon. Typically, when people see UFOs, they report single objects or lights in different shapes like disks, orbs, or even triangular formations. But this is a swarm of small, light-like objects moving in harmony. That's something entirely different. What do you think they could be? Back in 2019, a man stumbled upon a series of massive footprints while exploring southeast Indiana. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. These weren't ordinary footprints. The impressions were about 6 inches wide, 18 inches long, and 4 inches deep, as if something incredibly heavy had made them. The track spanned a stretch of the ground, with each footprint spaced a full 70 inches apart, suggesting an enormous stride. He counted around 8 prints in total, though he managed to capture only 2 in photos. Take a look at these prints. The definition is remarkable. You can see the toes in the outline as if whatever made them left behind a clear imprint of its foot. The scale of these prints doesn't align with any known animal in the area, but they closely match the reported sightings of a massive 8-foot-tall Sasquatch-like creature. And the man who found these tracks had actually spotted a Sasquatch himself in the same area not long before. What do you think? Is this compelling evidence of Bigfoot, or could there be another reason for these mysterious prints?
Richtig. Richtig. Sie können gerne versuchen mitzuspielen, meine Damen und Herren. Richtig. Richtig.
You know that spot the difference game, the one when you've given 2 nearly identical images except for a tiny change somewhere and you have to find it. It's a game that can get intense, especially when the images are full of colorful details and busy characters. Well, there's this little girl who's an absolute genius at it. Watch her as she finds each difference in a blink of an eye without even the most challenging, trickiest images. She barely takes a second, and there she is, pointing out the subtle detail that's different. Meanwhile, most of us would still be scanning both pictures, scratching our heads. How does she do it? Could it be a super sharp eye for detail, or maybe some kind of natural talent for pattern recognition? Well, it turns out it's thanks to a technique called stereopsis training. This method involves the use of stereograms or cross-eyed images, improves binocular vision by teaching both eyes to work together for depth perception. Originally, the young girl, Mara, underwent this vision therapy to address convergence insufficiency, a condition affecting her ability to focus on nearby objects. Through the therapy, her brain adapted, enhancing her visual perception and allowing her to process complex images with impressive speed and accuracy, demonstrating the power of neuroplasty. Impressive, huh?
Richtig. Yep.
I don't know, but I feel one of you here is about to buy a house. Consider this another eerie reminder of why it's always wise to know the history of a house before buying it. A Hungarian couple had just moved into their new home when strange, unsettling things started to happen. In this clip, their surveillance camera catches their dog barking at what seems to be empty air. But if you look closely, you'll see faint, shadowy figures hovering in the room for a few seconds. Then, the dog suddenly bolts out, and almost immediately, a chair slides away from the table as if pulled by an unseen force. In another clip, things get even creepier. The couple is jolted awake in the middle of the night by a loud banging noise from the bathroom. When they get up to investigate, they cautiously pull back the shower curtain, only to find nothing. It seems their new home may not be so new after all. Something else may be residing there with them. Here's yet another terrifying clip the couple shed from their unsettling new home. In this footage, the woman was home alone with their dog when she heard a loud banging noise coming from downstairs. She went to check, only to find their dog standing on a door. This door is from an opening above the stairwell in the wall, located just below the ceiling. What's creepy about this is that they had tried to open that door before, but it seemed securely sealed. Now it had somehow come loose on its own. And as if that wasn't disturbing enough, one of her husband's shoes was sitting right beside the opening in the wall, as though placed there intentionally. Understandably freaked out, the woman decided to back away and wait for her husband to get home. Looks like the couple are in for a ride with whatever is in there with them. A late-night worker was outside when he spotted something unusual moving across the yard nearby. A line of small, shadowy creatures with dark, spiky-looking hair were walking one after another, disappearing around the corner of the building. They were hard to make out in the dim light, so he applied a negative filter to the footage for a better view. Take a look at the tiny figures moving together in a line. They're small, almost childlike in size, but they don't seem like animals or anything ordinary. What could these creatures be? Aaron thinks we may be dealing with duendes, but I would love to hear your thoughts as well. This next footage comes from Brooklyn, New York, and it's eerie to say the least. On top of a towering building, a dark, shadowy figure appears to be perched, watching over the city. It stayed there, motionless, for a few moments before suddenly taking off and disappearing into the night sky. This entity doesn't have a distinct shape, more like a vertical dark mass. It's unsettling to think about, as it raises questions about whether we are truly alone in this world. Could other unknown entities or creatures be sharing our space hidden just out of sight? The way it simply flew off, almost as if it had some purpose or mission, makes this even more mysterious. What could this be? A spirit? An unknown creature, or something else entirely? I guess we will never really know.
At first I was confused about what I was seeing, and I just started looking at it, trying to figure out if it was dust or a bug or what have you, and it just started looking more and more like a hand.
A woman had put her baby down to sleep in his crib, keeping a monitor on to check on him. She wasn't asleep yet herself and kept glancing at the screen to make sure he was all right. That's when she noticed something unusual. There was a shiny orb right above the baby's head. As he turned his head to the other side, the orb moved with him. But what was strange was that it seemed to change shape, forming something that almost looked like a ghostly hand hovering above him. Seeing this, she wasn't as surprised as one might think. Her husband had passed away when their baby was just 4 months old, never having the chance to meet his son as he was very sick and in the hospital. She believed this could be her husband making a gentle visit to their baby boy, watching over him from beyond. What do you think? Could this orb really be her late husband's spirit, or is there another explanation?
At first I was confused about what I was seeing, and I just started looking at it, trying to figure out if it was dust or a bug or what have you, and it just started looking more and more like a hand.
Literally right behind
You
us
guys.
now. He's right by that mailbox and he's not there.
He's not there and the truck is not there. What the What the He's right there.
A woman was parked in a lot, glancing back to check her surroundings when she noticed a man walking toward a car with a red truck behind him. But when she looked at a car's rear camera screen, there was nothing there. No man, no truck, just an empty path. What could this be? A glitch in the camera feed, or could it be something stranger, like a peek into a parallel universe overlapping ours for a moment?
Literally right behind
You
us
guys.
now. He's right by that mailbox and he's not there.
He's not there and the truck is not there. What the What the He's right there. A man set out to ski in a clearing after a heavy snowstorm. It was the perfect setting, fresh and pristine. But as he prepared to hit the slopes, something caught his eye in the wooded area across the field. There, partially hidden behind a tree, was the silhouette of what looked like a woman. Dark and motionless, the figure's body was visible, but the face was obscured by the tree. The strange part? The figure never moved. It simply stood there, watching. Or at least that's how it felt. Unnerved, the man decided to abandon his ski plans and head back home. Could it have been a shadow, a trick of the light, or something else entirely? In an isolated, snowy landscape, seeing something like that would send chills down anyone's spine. What do you think it could be?
Oh my. Do you hear that? Is that happening for you too?
It turns out even superstars aren't safe from eerie encounters. Check out this clip from Taylor Swift's concert when something strange happens. She's seated at the piano, hands off the keys, when suddenly it begins to play on its own. You can see her hands in the air and she's visibly unsettled, looking around in confusion. Could this be the work of a super fan from the other side wanting to join in, or maybe just a technical glitch at the worst possible moment?
I didn't play that, so that means that. Oh my.
Esto como de luz pasando, pero no se graba muy bien, y luego después sale, se para ahí y como que se convierte en un señor, mira. Y se queda ahí todavía está corriendo el reloj de grabando, mira, se mira como.
In August 2024, a CCTV camera in an empty field recorded something that left many people questioning what they just witnessed. The footage shows an orb glowing softly, drifting over a patch of grassland. It moves almost as if it has a purpose before coming to a complete stop. But what happens next is even more unsettling. Slowly, the light begins to shift, stretching and reshaping until it takes on the figure of a person.
As the image becomes clearer, we see what looks like a man dressed in white pants and a shirt, his hair dark. He stands there, eerily still, as though waiting for something. Then, with a sudden movement, he turns around, but as he does, his form distorts, and within moments, the figure dissolves, reshaping back into the glowing orb and floats away in the same direction it arrived. Could this strange sighting be linked to the mysterious orbs people have been reporting in various places? Are these orbs more than just lights, possibly shape-shifting entities watching us, moving among us unseen? Share your thoughts.
Esto como de luz paseando, pero no se graba muy bien y luego después sale, se para ahí y como que se convierte en un señor, mira. Y se queda ahí, ahí todavía está corriendo el reloj de grabando, mira, se mira como...
Death can be incredibly painful, knowing we won't see or hear from the people we love ever again. But what if there was a way to still connect with them?
Sona, please hold tight.
Hey, Justin, I'm so very glad you called me today.
I wanted to wish you a happy birthday and tell you I loved you.
Baby, I love you too.
Meet Justin Harrison, a tech entrepreneur who lost his mother in 2022. In his grief, he developed an AI that recreates her voice and personality, allowing him to talk to her almost as if it's on a phone call. With her unique voice, mannerisms, and even personal quirks captured, this AI brings a piece of her back to his life. While it doesn't replace having her there physically, it offers him a sense of comfort. Being able to hear someone even after they're gone is comforting. Would you try something like this?
Sona, please hold tight.
Hey, Justin, I'm so very glad you called me today.
I wanted to wish you a happy birthday and tell you I loved you.
Baby, I love you too.
Speaking of orbs, here's another encounter that leaves us with even more questions.
Watch this.
Mírala, 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 mírala. Mira esa luz de ahí. ¿Sí la estás viendo? La luz. ¿Sí la miras la luz o solo la miro yo?
Two women were out in the wilderness when they noticed something hovering just a few feet ahead. Suspended in the air, glowing with an intense light, was a bright orb completely still. The women were so taken aback by its presence that they froze, keeping their distance as they filmed it. They didn't dare go any closer, perhaps fearing that what they might find if they did. Unlike the previous footage of the orb that transformed into a human-like figure, this one stayed exactly as it was. So, what's different here? Could it be that not all orbs have the ability to shift forms, or are there different types of these mysterious lights, each with their own purpose? And if this one isn't a shapeshifter, what else could it be? So many questions, yet not many answers. But can you help?
Watch this.
Mírala, 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 mírala. Mira esa luz de ahí. ¿Sí la estás viendo? La luz. ¿Sí la miras la luz o solo la miro yo?
A man had set out one night outside on one side of the road that was filled with a lot of people on both sides of the road, mostly men. It seems something is going on because the place is noisy. As he was panning his camera across the bustling road, just as he does, two large trucks drive by side by side. One has a massive container while the other hauls an unknown load. But as these trucks pass, something incredibly strange happens. From between the two trucks, a man suddenly appears. It's as if he materializes out of thin air right there in the narrow space where no one could realistically fit, not even a child. The road is far too narrow for someone to stand there safely, especially with two trucks passing by so closely. Yet, there he is. Witnesses who saw the footage were baffled. Some believe this could be the sighting of a ghost. Others think it might be something even stranger, like a glitch in the Matrix. What do you think? Train wheels are quite different from those on most vehicles, and there's a fascinating reason for it. To demonstrate this, a man created a miniature train track model to show how these unique wheels work. He began with a set of cylindrical wheels, which were smooth and had no taper. As he tested the model on the track, the wheels struggled to stay on course, often veering off the rails. Then he swapped out the cylindrical wheels for conical ones. This time, the model held firmly to the track, gliding smoothly without slipping off. The conical shape of train wheels is crucial because it allows them to stay balanced and centered on the tracks even at high speeds or in turns. By having a slightly tapered design, these wheels can self-correct when a train moves side to side. When a train shifts to one side, the wheel's conical profile causes the outer wheel to roll on a large diameter than the inner one, helping the train return to its central position. This remarkable engineering keeps real trains securely on their paths, demonstrating the effectiveness of this unique design. A man accidentally spilt his drink on the tiled floor, but what happened next was completely unexpected. As the liquid seeped into the cracks between the tiles, tiny, red, wiggling things began to emerge. They looked like they wanted to crawl out from beneath the tiles. Intrigued, the man took a closer look, but as soon as he stepped on the tile, the tiny creatures vanished, slithering back behind the tiles. What could they be? Is there something living beneath the floor?
The implant in my ear is it'll turn on during the interview, and you'll be talking to me and to them.
You don't have an implant. You're pulling my leg.
No, I'm not telling you the truth. You don't know about it? You never read the book?
I read Communion.
Oh, okay. You've only read Communion.
I've only read Communion.
A man named Whitley Strieber, known for his best-selling book Communion, recently shared an extraordinary experience in an interview. According to Strieber, he has an implant behind his ear placed there by extraterrestrial beings. Strieber claims this implant was put in back in 1989. He describes it as an advanced form of intelligence, something like artificial intelligence, but somehow alive. According to him, this device serves as a connection between him and these alien beings, allowing some level of communication or monitoring. Strieber also revealed something even more surprising. He claims that the CIA has taken an interest in this implant and wanted to access the device, but Strieber refused to give it to them. He went on to say that the CIA has established contact with gray aliens and that his implant holds information linking him to them directly. It's a wild story, no doubt. Is it possible there's some truth here?
Why do you think the CIA is so interested in people who have had close encounters?
Well, I think they kind of backed into it because their brief is foreign intelligence. And this is about as foreign intelligence can get.
En el pilastrón. ¿Qué? En el pilastrón. En el pilastrón está él, güey. Ay, cabrón. Ahí está. No mames, güey. Lo estoy viendo, güey. Bestia. ¿Es él? No lo veo. ¿O es sombra, güey? Se está moviendo, güey. Es una sombra. Es él, güey. ¡Ah, verga, güey! No, mames.
Recently, this particular video has been going everywhere. I have watched it several times and have my theories. Since it's been a while since I asked you guys for your opinion on a post, let's do this one together. I won't be providing this commentary, but I would very much love to hear what you think about it. What do you see? Why do you see it? And what do you think it could mean? Let's get creative in the comments section.
Viendo, güey. Bestia. ¿Es él? ¿O es sombra, güey? Se está moviendo, se está moviendo, se está moviendo, güey.
Es una sombra, es una sombra. Es él, güey.
¡Ah, la verga, bro! ¡No mames! ¡Ah!
What's wrong? What happened? The table just moved. What the f*** you mean the table just moved? What do you mean? I swear to God.
This footage comes from a security camera in a tattoo artist's shop, and it captures something rather unusual. The artist was setting up to work on a client when suddenly the table next to her started to move on its own. Though the table had wheels, it didn't look like she touched it or pushed it at all. The artist quickly noticed and grew alert, both she and her client looking around in confusion. But then another table in the corner also slid by itself. That was the last straw. Both women decided to make a run for it. Maybe a ghostly client wanted to book a tattoo appointment too. What do you think could have caused this?
What's wrong? What happened? The table just moved. What the f*** you mean the table just moved? What do you mean? I swear to God.
I hear somebody talking. Somebody's down there.
This footage comes from a man who decided to explore an abandoned tunnel on his own. After wandering through several pathways, he eventually found one that led him down to a set of stairs into a damp, eerie space filled with a murky green water. The entire place was falling apart with rusty walls, crumbling structures, a real underground maze. As he went further in, strange noises began echoing around him. Curious and a little uneasy, he set his camera down to capture what was happening, and that's when he saw it. A humanoid figure roaming through the shadows. He'd hear a sound, and then silence. At one point he even started hearing faint noises, but no one was there. Toward the end of his exploration, he spotted someone holding a flashlight at the far end of the tunnel. Then, to his shock, he heard gunshots echoing through the space. That was his signal to get out of there and fast.
I hear somebody talking. Somebody's down there.
This footage was captured by a home surveillance camera set up outside overlooking the property. In the dead of night, a mysterious figure appeared, walking across the yard. Just as quickly as it arrived, it vanished into thin air. The figure was small, almost resembling a waddling toddler, but it moved in a way that seemed strange, not quite natural. Some say it might just be a trick of the light, but skeptics believe there might be something more to this eerie sighting. What do you think this could be?
We're not alone. We are not alone in this universe, and it is a simple fact, and the U.S. government has been aware of that fact now for decades.
It's not exactly a new topic that the government might know a lot more about alien life than it's letting on. Some believe they've been making contact or have technology from extraterrestrial sources. Take a look at what this whistleblower has to say. This man claims that the US possesses alien technology and perhaps even the beings themselves, suggesting they might be experimenting with them or studying their advanced knowledge. And he's not the first to make such allegations. Over the years, countless whistleblowers have stepped forward insisting there's a hidden truth about extraterrestrials that the government isn't sharing with the public. Could this be real evidence of government secrecy on alien life, or are these stories simply the stuff of conspiracy?
We're not alone. We are not alone in this universe, and it is a simple fact. And the U.S. government has been aware of that fact now for decades.
What the fuck is that?
No, what's...
Run!
Guys, wait!
A group of friends went camping, enjoying the outdoors, and settled into their tents for the night. One of them had a camera ready to record, capturing the calm night scene. Suddenly, his tent mate burst out of the tent yelling, "Run!" Without asking questions, he bolted out of the tent, joining the rest of his friends who had already started running. When he finally reached a safe distance, he looked back, and this is what he saw. Inside one of the tents was a creature, crouched on all fours. It certainly didn't seem human, but if it wasn't, then what on earth was it?
What the fuck is that?
No, what's...
Run!
Guys, wait!
A man was walking home late at night and decided to take a shortcut through a bridge in the middle of the woods. As he climbed onto the bridge, he began to feel uneasy, like someone was watching him. Trying to shake the feeling, he pulled out his camera and started filming, panning around to see if he could catch anything unusual. When he looked down, there was a face staring up at him. It was a grotesque red face with matted black hair watching him intently. Just as he spotted it, the figure quickly disappeared into the darkness, leaving him rattled. Some people are speculating that it could be a witch or spirit, but others are puzzled by the red, bright face. Could it be some other type of entity, or is there a different reason for its disturbing appearance? What do you think he encountered that night?
Dude, what kind of boat is that? What? Is that like somebody's yacht?
Some men captured this strange sight out at sea. It looks like some sort of building with the top part visible above the water. But here's the unsettling part. This isn't a static structure. It's moving almost like a ship. The last time I checked, ships don't look like this. So what type of ship is this? Does anyone have any idea what this could be? The sheer size and unusual appearance of this vessel is baffling. Is it some kind of advanced maritime technology or perhaps something entirely different?
Is that like somebody's yacht? Yo, this is like my Star Wars Jabba.
In this video, you can see a crowd of people gathered, all looking up at the sky in awe. The focus of their attention? A ball of fire streaks across the sky, trailing flames as it moves. There's no context provided for what's happening, but the people seem strangely happy, almost celebratory. The fiery object appears to be some sort of comet or meteor hurling towards the Earth, its tail of flames creating a spectacular display against the night sky. But what makes this scene even more intriguing is the reaction of the crowd. Instead of fear or concern, there's an air of excitement, as if they're witnessing something significant, perhaps even divine. In various religions, the sight of a falling star or celestial event is often interpreted as a sign from the heavens, a message from the divine. Could this be what the people in the video are experiencing? Are they seeing this fiery spectacle as a symbol of something greater, a sign of divine intervention, or is it simply a rare and breathtaking natural phenomenon? Just before you start wondering what we're looking at here, you should know that the helicopter is carrying an object called the electromagnetic surveying system. They're used for geophysical exploration and are employed in various industries, including mineral exploration to map subsurface geological features by measuring electromagnetic responses. While these systems are primarily used for geological purposes, there have been instances where unconventional interpretations of electromagnetic anomalies have led to speculative theories, including the suggestions of extraterrestrial activity like finding UFOs. So what's this one doing out there? Looking for an alien craft? Oh my goodness, take a look at this. While on a boat ride in the ocean, this person was met by a huge shark. The killer fish swam onto the boat and circled back, swimming around the boat. Luckily, the person on the boat was very still and didn't catch the attention of the creature. But from the noise the person was making, you can tell that he was freaked out. Contrary to the initial fear of a great white shark, it turns out to be a basking shark, a relief for anyone fearing a more dangerous encounter. Basking sharks are known for their immense size, often mistaken for more aggressive species due to their appearance. But they're filter feeders, mainly eating plankton and small fish by swimming with their mouths wide open. In moments like these, the thin line between awe and fear is palpable. The ocean, with its mysteries and wonders, can evoke a mix of emotions. Have you ever had a close encounter with marine life? And if so, how did it leave you feeling? Tell us in the comment section. Alexa has become a household name, and I mean that quite literally. This device is used in homes all around the world, but recently some disturbing observations have come to light. TMZ even did a show on it, highlighting reports of something terrifying happening within the Alexa systems. People have recorded strange, unsettling noises coming from their Alexa units, sounds that are guttural and inhuman, unlike anything you'd expect from a voice assistant. No one seems to know what these noises could be. Some have speculated that Alexa might be haunted, while others think it could be the result of someone hacking into the device or possibly a bizarre programming error. What's going on? Is there something more sinister at play, or is it just a technical glitch? This next footage is truly bizarre. It was taken by a group of hunters who were out in the woods searching for game. As they ventured deeper into the forest, their dogs started barking aggressively at something near the wooded area. The barking grew louder until something emerged, something that left the hunters completely stunned. What appeared before them was a human-sized insect-like creature. It had a huge head and flapping wings like those of an insect, but it was far larger than any insect or even alien they had ever seen. The creature looked otherworldly, and the footage, which was shared over 10 years ago on YouTube, has left puzzled viewers ever since. Not many people have been able to explain what this creature could be. Some believe it might be an alien, while others think it could be a type of cryptid, one of those mysterious creatures that people claim to see but that science hasn't officially recognized. What do you think? Dragons, werewolves, and witches are all characters we see in fairy tales, but these days, with these sightings in our forests and mountains, these creatures seem to be becoming more and more of a reality than they are a fiction. A hiker was exploring the woods when he came across this beautiful white horse. But wait, it's not just a horse, it's a unicorn. Yeah, you heard me right. The beautiful horse was spotting a horn on its head. Looks like in the years to come, there will be no such thing as fairy tales anymore. This Trailcam footage indeed presents a puzzling scenario with several elements at play. Initially, it appears to capture a group of deer feasting on their night ration with glowing eyes, a phenomenon often attributed to the reflection of light from the camera. However, the intriguing aspect of this footage lies in a distant source of illumination that appears much later. The distant light source does indeed resemble a human head, and it's wrapped in what seems like a transparent covering. The most common assumption for such an occurrence might be that it's an unidentified flying object or an apparition of some kind. To arrive at a more conclusive understanding of this enigmatic footage, further analysis and investigation are necessary. Without additional context or information, it remains a mysterious occurrence open to interpretation and speculation. The uploader believes it's alien, and I'm tempted to side with him. What say you, alien or something entirely different? Tell us your thoughts in the comment section.
This next one is an alleged footage of a UFO sighting captured in a remote mountain area. What you're about to hear is strange, to say the least. The video begins with a mysterious craft hovering in the sky, emitting a strange pulsating beam of light. The beam seems to scan the area below before suddenly retracting back into the craft. Then, just as the tension builds, there's a fiery explosion, and in an instant, the craft vanishes without a trace. At first glance, the footage seems eerily convincing, like a genuine encounter with something not of this world. But as the video plays on, especially toward the end, something feels off. The explosion and the sudden disappearance of the craft raises suspicions. Could this be the result of clever editing, designed to make us question what's real and what's not? So what do you think? A YouTuber was filming in the woods when he stumbled upon something eerie, a smoke-like figure among the trees. At first glance, it's so faint that you might miss it entirely, but if you look closely, you'll notice that it has a distinctly human shape. The figure seems to blend in with the shadows, almost as if it's part of the forest itself. As soon as the man behind the camera realized what he was seeing, terror took over. He didn't stick around to investigate. Instead, he bolted out of there as fast as he could, clearly shaken by the experience. Shadow figures like this are a strange phenomenon that people have reported all over the world. They're often described as dark, misty shapes that resemble humans but are more elusive and mysterious. This one, however, is white, not dark. Could this be another encounter with one of these shadowy entities, or is there something else at play here?
In this intriguing video, a courageous man finds himself in an undisclosed location standing amidst a vast landscape with an abundance of lush green plants. However, the particular area where he's standing appears to be barren, with only a green sack in his hand. What makes this scene all the more remarkable is the action that unfolds next. The man upends the sack, causing a collection of snakes to spill out on the ground. Without hesitation, he discards the sack, crouches down, and proceeds to handle the snakes with his bare hands. As he does so, the snakes quickly disperse in various directions. The exact location of this video and the specific species of snakes involved remain undisclosed, leaving viewers with a sense of mystery. The man's audacious act of handling these snakes barehanded is indeed an alarming sight to behold, and it raises numerous questions. What motivated him to undertake this endeavor, and what message or symbolism might be associated with this unusual act? Was he aided by some voodoo, or is it purely skill? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. What do you see when you look at this capture? Before you conclude it's just a dirty monkey or a chimpanzee covered in mud, take a look at its fingers. Do those look normal to you? Certainly not. Moving away from its fingers and taking a look at its face, you can tell that the eyes are much more sunken than they should be, and its nostrils have holes bigger and definitely deeper than ordinary primates that size. Just what could we be dealing with here? Well, no one knows, not even the one whose trail camera captured this. According to him, there are no primates in the area, and a local legend speaks of a small but wicked ape-like creature that roams the woods seeking to exact revenge on all who hurt the wildlife in the area. He mentions that even as a child, he's always thought the story to be ridiculous and unreal. At least he thought so until his trail camera captured this. What do you think of the whole thing? Do you believe his story, or do you think there's something more sinister happening here? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. We'd love to know.
This footage was taken in Virginia back in the 1800s, and it's as eerie as it gets. A man had ventured up into the mountains, hoping to capture some stunning footage of the wilderness, but what he ended up recording was something far more unsettling. As he panned his camera toward the entrance of a cave, he noticed something unusual, something that made his blood run cold. There, deep in the shadows of the cave, were a pair of 3 glowing eyes staring back at him. The eyes were fixed on him, unblinking, almost as if they were studying him. The man was so terrified that he abandoned his camera on the spot and fled down the mountain. The next day, he returned to the cave with some help, determined to retrieve his camera. When he finally got it back and reviewed the footage, the sight of those eyes sent chills down his spine all over again. The footage clearly showed the glowing eyes and dark shadowy figures lurking in the cave. He became convinced that what he had encountered was a family of Bigfoot living deep within the mountains. The idea of Bigfoot has always been a mystery, but this image taken before AI was a thing is very convincing. What do you think? Now take a look at this disturbing footage. Thousands of dead fish were collected at a Greek port, their lifeless bodies creating a haunting image, a sea of death. Just look at the tragic sight. When scientists arrived to investigate the scene, their conclusion was clear. This devastating event is linked to climate change. Rising temperatures, pollution, and changes in ocean currents are taking a severe toll on marine life. Climate change, one of the most pressing and discussed topics of our time. It's an issue that's constantly in the spotlight, and for good reason. The climate is changing rapidly, and human activities are largely to blame.
You know in cartoons how snowflakes look, beautiful patterns falling from the sky? A 60-year-old man recently had a delightful surprise during a snowfall. Accustomed to the usual snow dust, he found himself witnessing the intricate beauty of snowflakes for the first time, delicately falling from the sky.
Not that I'm a real snow aficionado, but I've never seen that.
Snowflakes are famous for their unique and captivating shapes, often looking like beautiful hexagonal crystals. Each flake has its special design, creating a collective display that's a breathtaking spectacle. Even though we've seen snowflakes in pictures, witnessing their real beauty in person can be a truly magical moment. At an unknown location, this footage was taken. Tiny lights are moving from the earth toward the heavens. I have never seen anything like it. It's a mesmerizing scene. For us humans, our minds are always ready to make sense of things they don't understand, which has led to many theories about this mysterious show. Some suggest that these bright trails mean that souls are leaving Earth, going through a meaningful and spiritual change. Others, influenced by Christian beliefs, consider the idea of the rapture, a moment when good souls rise to heaven. On the other hand, some people hold a different idea, suggesting that these lights could be spaceships leaving Earth, maybe because something bad is about to happen. And the list goes on and on. All these theories about what this could be are very disturbing, but we can't tell which is closer to the truth or not. What do you guys think? If you have other suggestions, let us know in the comments section below. In the extremely cold and snowy land of Antarctica, where temperatures are bone-chilling and snowstorms are constant, life becomes surreal and full of challenges. In this footage, you can see a woman struggling to shut her door after it was forced open by the storm. Just look at how she is struggling. This snippet offers a glimpse into the harsh and demanding conditions that inhabitants and researchers in Antarctica contend with regularly. Antarctica's reputation as the coldest place on Earth is well deserved, with temperatures plummeting to extremes that test the limits of human endurance. The continent is not only known for its freezing temperatures, but also its relentless and unpredictable weather patterns. Snowstorms, often accompanied by strong winds, can transform the landscape into a hostile and unforgiving terrain. Surviving in Antarctica demands special skills and resilience to the harsh climate and navigate through the unpredictable elements. Hold on to your hats, folks. In this interview, we catch wind of an astonishing claim. Scientists may have the keys to extending our lifespans, all by tinkering with our very own genome.
Unnecessary. We'll just mess with the genome and you live forever. Mess with the genome? Yeah, just change the genes in a way so that they don't age. We're much closer to that than separating your brain out and putting it with mice already, and putting it in a jar. They're doing that with mice. There are ways we can prolong the life of other animals, but they don't live forever. They just live longer than they otherwise would have. So I think we're much closer to that manipulation of the genome than removing the brain from your skull and sticking it in a jar.
Yes, you heard that right. No need to transfer our consciousness into futuristic robots. The fountain of youth might be in the hands of genome-tweaking scientists. But pause for a moment. Let that sink in. And if this is indeed true, it makes you wonder about all those potential cures sitting somewhere in someone's cabinet, doesn't it? Could the secrets of conquering disease like cancer be tucked away in the intricacies of our genetic makeup?
Yeah, just change the genes in a way so that they don't age.
During a stroll in the woods, an unsuspecting farmer came across a natural but somewhat gruesome scene. What lay before him was the shriveled remains of a bear, which had become a feast for countless worms and insects. This sighting serves as a stark reminder of the cycle of life and nature's way of recycling organic matter. While such a sight would undoubtedly evoke strong reactions from many, the farmer displayed a remarkable level of courage by not only witnessing it, but also filming the scene. It raises the question of how one would react in the face of such a natural but unsettling spectacle. Feel free to share your thoughts on how you would have handled encountering such a sight in the comments section. We'd love to know. Have you ever taken a walk down a dark path and instantly regretted it? Well, I know I have, but I doubt it in any way compares to the next footage I'm about to show you. What do you think that creature is? Well, if you are clueless, then you aren't the only one. At first glance, it might seem like a mountain lion, but after a few seconds, you'll notice it's longer than any mountain lion should be. It almost looks like a human being moving on all fours, albeit without any human-like features. Many who saw the footage believed it was a skinwalker, and the uploader seems to think so too. He mentions that there are many legends of skinwalkers in the area, but it was not until he encountered what you were seeing on your screen that he started to believe that the legends might be true. That's his personal assertion, though. What do you see when you look at the footage? Do you see a skinwalker too, or are we simply blowing things out of proportion? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section, as we'd love to hear them. In the streets of Oregon, a man captured a peculiar sight. The tarred road was steaming hot, and the tar itself seemed to be melting.
Yeah, they say this is a volcano 100 years ago, but...
The initial interpretation was that it might be a volcano, perhaps reawakening after centuries of dormancy. In situations like this, the initial interpretation often leans towards more sensational and extraordinary explanations. However, subsequent information debunked the volcanic theory. It turns out that the phenomenon was more grounded in the infrastructure beneath the surface. The steaming and melting were attributed to a hot water pipe leak. Funny, right? In 2023, a group of people had a serene visit to Lake Houma in Australia, looking forward to enjoying the tranquility of the waterside. However, their peaceful time was unexpectedly interrupted by a mysterious and unsettling sound that seemed to emanate from beyond the lake.
We're up at Bonnie Down.
The nature of the sound raised eyebrows among the visitors, as it was not akin to typical animal noises or the familiar hum of machinery. The noise, characterized by its unusual and eerie quality, sparked curiosity and a sense of intrigue among those present. When confronted with such unexplained sounds in natural settings, various factors come into play. It could be attributed to wildlife, atmospheric conditions, wind patterns, or even geological activities in the vicinity. On the other hand, human-made sources such as distant machinery or industrial processes could also contribute to such auditory phenomena. However, since none of these was confirmed, we're left to wonder what this could be.
You can hear that, right?
Yeah, what is it?
I've got no idea.
But it's strange.
In the midst of all the mysterious and enigmatic Trailcam captures we often come across, it's refreshing to stumble upon something that brings a smile to our faces. So here we have this deer, quite literally making the best of its moment in the spotlight. Just take a closer look at the picture and you'll see a majestic creature with its tongue playfully sticking out, striking a pose that's nothing short of adorable. It's almost as if this deer decided it was time to give the paparazzi, in this case the Trailcam, a taste of its modeling prowess. You have to admit, he's beautiful, isn't he? And that concludes today's episode. Thank you for staying throughout. Wandering through the woods can often lead to an assortment of unexpected experiences, some more unnerving than others. Such was the case for a woman who found herself in a spine-tingling situation deep within the forest.
What the is that? What is that? Oh, it's moving. No. What's that? No.
A woman was walking through the woods when she started to hear strange noises coming from a hollow space surrounded by trees. Typically, that should be a sign to get the hell out of there. But this woman was feeling pretty brave that day, so she took out her camera to film. Within a few seconds of filming, her lens landed on a strange dark figure perched by a tree trunk in the darkness. She stood to look at it for a while. That only lasted until the creature moved slightly, which was enough to scare and get her running away from it. In my opinion, I think it was the best choice because although that thing was not visible, it gave me this chilling feeling of being hunted. But you have to wonder, what exactly is that thing? It didn't exactly have a discernible face. Do you think this is another science experiment gone wrong, or are there creatures like this in the wild we have yet to discover? Share your thoughts with us, as we'd love to hear them. Here's another strange sighting in the sky. It's near sundown, so the sky is almost dark, but there's a portion of the clouds where a bright, golden light is shining through. The glow is an almost otherworldly quality, casting an eerie yet beautiful light across its landscape. The light seems too intense and concentrated to be just the setting sun, as if something is hidden behind the clouds, letting just a bit of light escape. It's almost as if there's a hidden source of light, something powerful and mysterious illuminating the clouds from within. Viewers who have seen this kind of phenomenon are wondering if it's some rare natural event like sunlight reflecting off ice crystals in the atmosphere, or if there's something more unusual at play. With the increasing number of strange occurrences in the sky, could this golden light be a sign of something more mysterious, perhaps even a glimpse into something otherworldly? What we are looking at here is the unsettling sight of a decomposed human body, leaving a stain on the hallway floor of her home. The scene is even more haunting, with a walker lying nearby, a silent witness to the tragic event. It's said that this was an elderly woman who had passed away in her home, unnoticed and alone. No one arrived in time to help her. She might have lost her footing, fallen, and been unable to get back up, but what's even sadder is that no one came to check on her. She may have lain there in pain for hours, or perhaps she died instantly. There's no way to know for sure. By the time someone thought to check in on her, she was already long gone and decomposing. This is a deeply disturbing reminder of the importance of looking out for our loved ones. It's crucial to check up on them regularly to ensure they're okay and to prevent such heartbreaking situations. I know what you're thinking. Monster. Would you believe me if I told you that this was actually real? This is a frilled shark. This unique-looking creature is often referred to as a living fossil because its physical characteristics have remained largely unchanged for millions of years. The frilled shark is a long eel-like body that can reach up to 2 meters, 6.5 feet in length. Its flat head is equipped with rows of tiny needle-like teeth that are perfectly suited for capturing prey in the deep ocean. The shark's most distinctive feature, however, is its gills. They're frilly and resemble lace, giving the creature its name. Wondering why you don't see this often? Well, the answer is simple. Frilled sharks are typically found in deep ocean waters, living in depths ranging from 200 to 1,500 meters, 660 to 4,920 feet. They prefer to reside near the edges of continents and in underwater canyons where they can hunt their prey, small fish, squid, and other deep-sea creatures. These sharks are not often seen by humans due to their deep-sea habitat, but when they are, they're truly a sight to behold. Wouldn't you agree? Now, I know you're probably wondering what we've got here, and you would be right to do so. I know nature has a lot up her sleeves, but this is something else. The creature appears to be a lizard with a body as long as a snake. As strange as this thing is, it turns out it's really out there. There's a whole species of lizard out there that looks like this. They're referred to as an Asian grass lizard. They're a species of long lizards found in parts of Asia like China, Japan, Taiwan, and Vietnam. They're known for their long, snake-like body and tail. They like to live in grassy places and prefer to catch and eat bugs, thankfully. They're usually calm and shy, running away from trouble instead of fighting, which is good to know. A part of me wanted to declare this as CGI until I did the research. Turns out, not all strange and blurry pics online are fake. Who knew? There have been numerous strange objects spotted in the sky, many of which remain shrouded in mystery. With the rapid advancement of technology, it's possible that some of these sightings could be experimental tech being tested. In this particular footage, the observer captured a peculiar object in the sky. It appears to be a round structure with two bumps at the bottom, unlike anything commonly seen. The shape and design don't match any known aircraft or drone, making it all the more intriguing. Could this be a new piece of technology, a drone, or something entirely different? It's hard to say for sure, but with the way tech is evolving, it's not far-fetched to consider that this could be a prototype or an experimental craft being tested. What do you think? While walking through a secluded community, a passerby decided to capture the serene surroundings on video. The footage shows a quiet area with trees gently swaying and a few buildings dotting the landscape. Everything seems peaceful, almost mundane. But as the camera pans across one of the buildings, something unexpected happens. A dark figure suddenly appears against the stark white of the building. The figure is slender, its form almost ethereal, and it has an appearance that can only be described as alien-like. What do you make of it? Someone captured this strange-looking creature in the woods. At first glance, it doesn't look like any creature we've seen, but the one who uploaded it insists it was a chupacabra. For those unfamiliar with it, the chupacabra is a legendary blood-sucking dog-like creature that's infamous for attacking livestock. Its name means goat sucker, as it was first reported attacking goats in Puerto Rico in the 1990s. Members of the paranormal community were, however, quick to point out that the creature was a guara or maned wolf, an actual species found in South America. Comparing the picture of the wolf and the creature, they do bear similarities in their long legs, ears, and tail. However, the creature in question looks sickly and appears to be missing its fur, giving it a grayish appearance. This could be due to a variety of reasons, such as malnutrition or disease. As for whether it's a sickly maned fox or a genuine chupacabra, I'll leave it up to you to decide. The Dogman is a creature that has been the subject of many myths and legends for centuries. The creature is believed to be a hybrid between man and dog, possessing the physical attributes of both species. Sightings of this creature have been reported all around the world, but they're often dismissed as mere hoaxes or misidentifications. However, this recent sighting has caught the attention of many people. A street camera captured footage of something moving across a highway. The creature was moving on all fours, but its appearance was not necessarily canine or feline. Or rather, we couldn't tell because of how blurry the footage looked. It quickly went viral on social media, and some believed that the legendary Dogman had been caught on camera. The sighting even made it on a local television news, which further fueled the fascination surrounding the mysterious creature. Despite the widespread interest in the sighting, there's still no concrete evidence to prove that's the Dogman. But what do you think? Here we have satellite footage from the infamous Area 51. In the video, a very large sphere suddenly appears from the sky, descending smoothly until it lands on the ground. It remains stationary for just a few seconds before shooting back up into the sky at an incredibly fast speed, disappearing from view almost instantly. Now, we all know that Area 51 has been under intense scrutiny for years, often speculated to be either an alien base or a top-secret facility where the military hides its most classified projects. This footage only adds to the mystery surrounding the site. While some are convinced this is real, others think it's nothing more than a digitally created clip. What say you? A resident in Peru was about to head to bed when something caught his eye through the window, a dark figure looming over him. He described it as a creature with a terrifying face, unlike anything he'd ever seen before. It didn't resemble an ape, Bigfoot, or even a dogman, which are the usual go-to comparisons for strange sightings like this. This creature was tall, towering over the window, and covered in dark fur. The way it stared down at him was unsettling, with an almost monstrous presence. It didn't fit any of the familiar categories, making it even more eerie and mysterious. The resident was left shaken by the encounter, convinced that what he saw was something far from ordinary, a true monster lurking in the night. What could this creature be? Something mythical, or perhaps a yet-to-be-discovered species? Humans are known to engage in thrilling activities that push the boundaries of their comfort zone. However, sometimes these activities can be extremely risky. For instance, consider this incident where a group of individuals on an ocean adventure filming their experience suddenly came across a large fish with its dorsal fin protruding from the water. The creature was quite aggressive and began chasing their boat at high speed, creating a scary situation for the individuals involved. Despite the danger, the group managed to maneuver their boat skillfully and escaped unharmed. Similarly, another group of individuals embarked on a boat ride in a forest by a river, hoping to enjoy the beauty of nature. However, their adventure took an unexpected turn when they spotted a large bear standing on the riverbank. As soon as the bear noticed the boat, it began to run after them, causing a wave of panic among the individuals on the boat as the bear was gaining on them. Fortunately for them, they managed to steer the boat away from the bear and reached the safety of the shore. A close call by all standards. Imagine going on an open sea adventure and running into something like this. This was captured by a surfer while on an island. He thought he was out to surf, but the ocean had different plans. But what are these things? Obviously, we can tell they're huge and look fluffy under the water's surface. Well, it turns out that they're South American sea nettles. They're a type of jellyfish found in the Pacific Ocean near South America. They're known for being pretty big and have long tentacles and a bell-shaped body. Even though they're large, these jellyfish usually don't hurt people, even if they sting. While this might sound like an invitation to get close to one, it's still smart to be careful and not touch or swim near them. Next, we've got the blurry kind of clips we all don't like, but do pay attention. There's something rather interesting in this one. If you pay attention to the clip, you would see something or someone moving in the darkness. You don't need me to tell you that the movement patterns as well as the body of the individual being or whatever that isn't natural. Freaked out by what his camera had recorded, the one who uploaded this stated he thought it was either a nightcrawler or alien. Personally, I'd love it to be one of these things because I'm just waiting for that clip that would confirm their existence. As much as I would want this clip to be that clip, it's simply too blurry to authoritatively state that's the case. What do you guys think though? Do you think this is authentic? Are we actually dealing with extraterrestrials and otherworldlies? Share your thoughts in the comments section. This strange creature was spotted on the shores of China. It looks like a stick covered in tiny hairs and its form resembles a spider, except it has more than 8 legs. But this isn't just some sort of stick or debris, it appears to be alive. As the person behind the camera pokes it with a stick, the creature suddenly moves its legs, revealing a surprising level of life and activity. Yet despite its movements, it still looks oddly rigid and stiff. What kind of sea creature could this be? Could it be an unknown species or perhaps a bizarre mutation? Share your thoughts. Our next clip takes us all the way to Mexico, where a farmer made a startling discovery: a small, humanoid creature that appeared to be completely dried up. The creature was in a fetal position with a pair of arms and legs. Although it was only a few inches long, the shape of its skull was quite large, which led to much speculation. Some people believe the creature was an aborted or miscarried fetus due to its small size. Others have suggested that it could be an alien. Some claim that the creature was an extraterrestrial being that had somehow ended up on Earth. And some think that the creature was a duende. For those unfamiliar with the term, in Mexican folklore, duendes are small mischievous creatures that are said to inhabit the wilds of the country. They're known for their distinctive physical features, which include oversized heads and limbs. Despite much debate and speculation, the true identity of this thing remains a mystery. Having seen it yourself, what do you think it is? This final clip is one of my favorites. Enjoy. Two pedestrians were about to cross the road, each person standing across from the other on the side of the road. The car taking the footage stopped for them to cross. Before anyone could understand what was happening, the older-looking pedestrian quickly scooped up the child and ran to the other sidewalk. In a split second, we know why. Another car overtakes from the side at high speed. The child might have died had the pedestrian not acted quickly. That was a close one. It's great to see people still put their lives on the line for those who need it.
Next up, we've got a very confusing piece of footage. In a remote location, a group of locals is gathered around what looks like a very large cloth on the ground, but it's not exactly a cloth. It resembles the shape of a giant gorilla. There's a man holding a traditional fan in one hand and a bell in the other. He circles around this costume, ringing the bell, and eventually stops at what seems to be the head of the figure. He then uses his fan to tap on the head repeatedly, and you can see the costume start to inflate, slowly coming to life. It stands firm, and as the upper torso rises, it now looks like a real gorilla. When it stands up, its back is to the camera, making the scene even more eerie. The audience visibly reacts with fear as the creature begins to move toward them. The whole scene is surreal. It looks incredibly real, yet it could easily be a trick. Julius thinks it's just a clever illusion, but Aaron believes it might be some form of African black magic since the footage was taken in Africa. It's hard to tell what's going on here, whether it's an elaborate hoax or traditional ritual or something else entirely, but what do you think? This footage is an interview with Elon Musk by Jordan Peterson, where Musk mentions that Grok 3, a new AI system, is expected to be released by December. According to Musk, Grok 3 will be the most powerful AI in the world. Grok 3 is designed as an advanced chatbot with deep learning capabilities, human-like reasoning, and the ability to handle complex tasks across various domains. But isn't this the same person who previously warned that AI could be dangerous if humans don't slow down its development? Yet here he is, creating what he claims to be the most powerful AI ever. Grok 3 raises questions about the balance between innovation and caution. Should we be worried? Or do you think Elon has everything under wraps? In this footage, you can see a jet pilot pouring water into a cup and drinking it while the craft goes around, but the air never spills. How is this possible? Well, this is because of three main reasons. Firstly, as the aircraft moves, it creates a force called centripetal force. This force pushes the water toward the bottom of the cup, helping to keep it in place even if the cup is tilted or upside down. Secondly, water has a property called inertia, which means it wants to keep moving in the same direction as the aircraft. So even if the cup is tilted or turned upside down during the aircraft's maneuvers, the water stays inside because it wants to follow the aircraft's movement. Lastly, there's something called surface tension on the water's surface, like a thin skin that holds the water molecules together.
This surface tension helps to keep the water in the cup, especially when the cup is tilted or inverted. With all these factors combined, the water stays put in the cup even when the aircraft is pulling off tricks, allowing the pilot to enjoy their drink without any spills. Either that or the clip is fake, which is your money on. Still on the strange and weird, take a look at this clip. This video was posted online featuring a rather strange and mysterious creature. The creature appeared to have tentacles that were moving about as it floated in the air. The person who posted the video claimed that it was a leviathan, but people were not convinced. Take a look at some of the comments from the original post. Most people believed it was just a kite due to the varying shapes and sizes kites can come in. Another theory was that it was a weather balloon, but we're not exactly sure if there are weather balloons in this shape. Despite the many skeptics, some remained convinced that the creature was indeed a leviathan. For those who don't know, the leviathan is a mythical sea creature with tentacles. If we're going to be accurate to the lore, I'm not exactly sure it can fly, but hey, this is the 21st century where anything can be possible. So what do you think?
Someone found this strange-looking thing on a wall, and it's seriously bizarre. It's this thick, almost gelatinous substance that seems to be moving on its own like it's alive. It doesn't just sit there as you'd expect. There's an unsettling, almost organic motion to it, like it's trying to crawl or spread. Some people are speculating that it could be an insect covered in some sort of goo, maybe something that got stuck in a sticky substance and is now struggling to get free. But the way it moves is really odd, almost unnatural. So what do you think this could be? Could it really be just an insect in a sticky situation, or is there something more to this strange, living-like blob? Here's another disturbing footage of a mosquito infestation. We're not sure where this was recorded, but it's got us wondering what's going on with all these insect infestations. In recent years, there's been a noticeable rise in such outbreaks, and it's raising serious concerns. Factors like climate change, urbanization, and shifts in ecosystems are contributing to the rapid spread of these insects. Warmer temperatures and increased humidity create the perfect breeding grounds for mosquitoes, leading to larger and more frequent infestations. These swarms pose not only a nuisance, but also significant health risks, as mosquitoes are known as carriers of disease like malaria, dengue fever, and the Zika virus.
Now, what do we have here? Before you scream alien or cryptid, you should know that this is someone's arm with body modification. It's insane or cool, depending on what you're into. The strange bumps running along the arm almost resemble the vertebrae of a spine, don't they? And that massive X marking on the back of the palm? People do go crazy about these things. Are you one of them, and would you try this? Let us know in the comments section. Speaking of strange things, take a look at this clip. What do you see? Hard to tell, right? A subscriber sent this in, and we've been trying to decipher it since we received it. Some members of the team thinks it's a spider, but can spiders move their eyes like that? Others think we might be dealing with something alien. Based on the lack of availability of evidence and its lack thereof, I'm tempted to side with this assertion. The individual who sent it in doesn't know what it is either and refused to tell us where the clip came from. Let's treat this as a bonus clip. Who can find out what this is as well as where it came from? If you can and we can authenticate it, then you get the opportunity to be featured in our next clip. What do you guys say? Start your answer with the word bonus so we can find it easily. This massive creature was spotted in a river by a man who happened to be walking by. The footage is a bit blurry, but you can clearly see its head emerging from the water, and it's enormous. The creature's size is truly intimidating, raising the question, what could it be? The man who captured the footage described it as something out of a nightmare, a huge shadowy figure lurking just beneath the water's surface. Its head, which appears to be several feet across, slowly moves through the water, causing ripples that disturb the calm of the river. Despite the poor quality of the video, the sheer size of the creature is unmistakable, and it's enough to send shivers down your spine. Is this an unknown species lurking in the depths, or perhaps a creature from ancient legends come to life? During a late-night ride, a dashcam in the car captured something that defies explanation. It was just an ordinary drive through a secluded road, the kind where thick forests stretch on both sides, creating an eerie tunnel of darkness. But then, out of nowhere, something bizarre happened. Did you catch that? A pair of legs, massive, powerful, just came rushing across the street. But here's the thing, they weren't just big, they were huge. These legs belonged to a creature so enormous that the driver couldn't even see the upper half of it. Imagine that. The creature's torso was completely out of sight, hidden in the dark, or maybe towering above the trees. Whatever it wasn't anything you'd expect to see crossing a road at night. The dashcam footage is unsettling to say the least. The speed at which the legs moved, the sheer size of them, it all felt like something out of a nightmare. No normal animal could be this large, at least, well, none that we know of. Speaking of strange humanoid creatures, a subscriber sent this next one in. While the original post stated this was a mythic humanoid, that is, a mythological creature that's only part human, the subscriber believes it's simply human and nothing else. I've reviewed the clip several times, and I must say that while it does have a strange appearance, it might simply be a human and nothing else. The clip may have been edited, or he or she may be wearing a costume. That might account for the strange look. Beyond that, I don't see anything paranormal happening, unless, of course, I'm under the power of this mythic human and it's making me say that to hide its identity. What do you think? Not everyone believes in paranormal events or entities. I'm pretty sure a number of you watching this video might also share the same sentiments. But how do we explain this? This incident took place around 3 a.m. when a motorcyclist was on his way home. A person suddenly appeared out of nowhere in the middle of the highway he was on. Naturally, this startled him, but just before he could properly react, the individual just disappeared. Fortunately, the rider managed to keep his composure and didn't panic. That could have resulted in a tragedy. While it's true that tech can be used to create convincing fakes, many doubted this was fake. They believed it was the real deal. Take a look at some of the comments. Several viewers claimed that this incident took place in the Philippines. Some even stated that they had seen it on television. Some went as far as analyzing the clip and stating that there were two, not one, individuals in the clip. But what do you see, and do you believe that this is indeed a ghost encounter or just a hoax? You know how we're all about making life easier with technology. Do you think we've gone too far? If my question confuses you, take a look at this. In case you haven't guessed it already, that's an artificial womb. So basically, instead of a woman going through the process of pregnancy, the egg is fertilized and grown outside till it's mature. While for some women this sounds like a win, there are others who think this is just wrong. To them, it's an offense against nature, and all children who come from this would be of the devil with no souls. I know that's strong language, but let's put the demonic and soul debate aside for a bit. For all that's good and lovely, would you consider this a good and healthy thing to do? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Feast your eyes on this image, the remnants of what is believed to be a werewolf or some sort of ancient beast preserved in glass at the Obscura Museum in Denmark. This chilling display has captured the imaginations of many who've seen it. The remains, encased in a glass chamber, are thought to be part of a creature that once roamed the earth, possibly a werewolf or something even more sinister. The Obscura Museum is renowned for its collection of strange and eerie artifacts, but this exhibit takes the cake. Whether it's the remnants of folklore brought to life or simply an elaborate hoax, it raises a multitude of questions. Is this evidence of a mythical creature from ancient legends, or could there be a scientific explanation behind it? Let's hear your thoughts.
Barto Küçüktepe köyünde akşam saat 5:30 sıralarında ben hayvanları otlatırken havadan aniden bir cismin ortaya çıktığını ben
In the skies of the Vardo district of Mus, this was captured. The clip shows a dark object with a human-like body. You can see the shoulders, arms, and legs, but the head is not visible. What could this be? One commenter said it was a drone with clothes on. I guess that could make sense. Another commenter said that this was a flying Bigfoot. I mean, look closely. This thing has thick arms and legs. A sassy commenter also said this. Oh, look, another video of a balloon-like object moving in a balloon-like way. Another also called it a balloon as well. It's almost like these guys knew what I was going to say and said it, but seriously, what do you guys think this is? Have you ever looked at a child and thought to yourself that they're not as clueless as we make them out to be? Well, if you haven't, this next clip might just change your mind.
The tree. Honey, there's nobody in the tree.
Up there.
You can see somebody?
Yeah.
Are you sure? I don't see anybody, honey.
I see a girl.
You see a girl?
Yeah.
Oh, is she okay?
Yeah.
What's she doing?
Tell me. It's Dad.
As you can already tell from the clip, this woman parked her car by a tree with a child in the back seat. The child kept pointing to the tree and claimed to see a girl on the tree who had died.
Dad.
Honey, I don't think there's a dead girl in the tree, baby. There's nothing in the tree.
It's Dad. Look, see? I see it. It's Dad.
What? The tree is dead?
No, a girl's dead.
Why do you think there's a girl dead?
Despite the woman's best efforts to find this girl or any sign of a presence, there was nothing or no one around on the tree. Naturally, this upset her a little, which is why she recorded and uploaded online to search for answers. Naturally, the discussions and arguments were all over the place with this clip. Some people called it a gift, while others stated that this kind of thing was natural with kids. Someone even shared a story featuring her son. Kids see ghosts. My son, when he was 2, asked me, "Who's that guy?" and pointed in our hallway. My husband was out of town at the time. I asked him if the guy was scary, and he said no, but I do believe he was seeing something. Another also shared her own experiences as a child. When I was 6, I saw an old man with a hat standing on the porch looking through the sliding glass door. At night, I screamed and my parents ran into the bedroom to find out why the man disappeared. Later, they received a call that Grandpa passed. As interesting as these sound, not everyone believes in these encounters. One comment suggested that it was just a figment of the child's wild imagination. While it's true that children have an active imagination and are prone to make up stories, these encounters are all too evident to ignore. After all, there's no smoke without fire. But what do you think? Did this child see something, or was it just a figment of their imagination?
Dad. Honey, how did... I don't think there's a dead girl in the tree, baby. There's nothing in the tree.
Dad, look, see? I see it.
This footage was captured in Albany, New York, and it's nothing short of extraordinary. In the video, you can see a triangular craft hovering silently in the sky. The object appears to defy gravity, hanging motionless in the air with no visible means of propulsion. Witnesses who saw the craft were baffled by its presence, as it didn't resemble any known aircraft. The triangular shape, combined with its eerie stillness, immediately sparked speculation. Could this be some sort of advanced military technology, or perhaps something not of this world? You see the bird the man is holding in his hands, right? Well, what if I told you that although it might look like a bird, it's not a real one? It's actually a new tech creation by the Chinese PLA. This drone bird flaps its wings and looks incredibly lifelike. It's designed to blend in with real birds, allowing it to spy without being detected. This kind of technology could be a game-changer in covert operations, serving a crucial role in secret missions where stealth is key. Warfare in the future is going to be pretty interesting, as individuals all around the world are developing spy tech that look like birds, bugs, and everyday items. A part of me is excited, and then there's a part of me that can't also help but worry. But then again, perhaps it's just me. What do you guys think? A security camera captured a remarkable event during a torrential downpour. At first, a sharp whistle-like sound pierces the air, followed by a sudden blinding flash of lightning that produces a deafening thunder. As the lightning dissipates, a strange, eerie red hue appears on the ground, and all the lights in the vicinity go out. It's fascinating to note how the red hue seems to linger on the ground, as though something has been left behind. One commenter on the video speculated that the incident was caused by lightning hitting a transformer. It's an interesting theory, but what do you think? As technology continues to advance at a rapid pace, scientists are exploring the possibility of transferring human consciousness to other bodies to achieve immortality. While this might seem like a distant concept, it's much closer than most of us might think. In a podcast featuring Billy Carson, he explains how human consciousness has already been transferred to robots. Listen.
Transferring animals into a computer, which they did a monkey, 2045.com. Look it up. For the monkey's in the computer, his mind is, but the body's dead. Then by 2010 or 2012, they were supposed to have been able to transfer a human consciousness into a robot. They've already done that. And the United States as well. DARPA has a project called the Avatar Project. In an Avatar Project, they have a symbiotic link from a soldier underneath a mountain somewhere, like in a bunker, connected to a field robot. And it controls it through a mind connection. If the robot is destroyed, of course, the soldier doesn't die. And the only thing that stopped us from transferring consciousness from one brain to another was data storage.
Did you hear that? Soldiers can now remotely control robots that they are symbiotically linked to, even if they're far away. This is similar to the concept seen in the popular movie Avatar, where humans control genetically engineered alien bodies. This symbiotic relationship between soldiers and robots has massive implications for warfare and raises ethical concerns. How do you think the masses reacted? Well, take a look. This development is particularly significant because it indicates that we are rapidly approaching a time when humans will be able to transfer their consciousness to other bodies. While there are many good applications for this, we just can't ignore what the negative ones could be. What do you also think about this? A woman was parked in a lot when she noticed something strange, a solid lamppost wobbling in the cold, snowy weather. The wind was blowing, but it didn't seem strong enough to cause the metal to bend and move like that. This is definitely an odd sight. Metal structures, especially something as sturdy as a lamppost, aren't supposed to wobble easily. So how could this be happening? Could it be a structural issue or something about the extreme cold affecting the metal? Whatever the cause, it's definitely not something you see every day. We all know what piranhas are, those fierce-looking little predators of the water. Well, take a look at this video. A fish tank filled with tiny piranhas. Just watch how aggressively they chase after the fish that was dropped into the tank. The fish tries to dart around, desperately trying to escape, but the piranhas are relentless, closely pursuing it around the tank. As soon as they got a hold of it, the poor thing was reduced to nothing in seconds. It's a chilling reminder of just how powerful these tiny creatures can be. They look small, but don't underestimate them. Messing with piranhas is not something you want to do. In recent years, sightings of unidentified flying objects, aliens, and strange orbs in the sky have become more frequent. It's become so common that people are no longer sure what to think when they witness them.
Look! Look at my phone. Look at her moving orbs. Look at this. There's fucking aliens. That's not fucking normal. That was the moon. What's happening?
Recently, a man captured footage of a peculiarly shaped glowing object in the sky that appeared after the moon disappeared from the night sky. The video shows the man sounding frightened and a woman in the background trying to reassure him that the object was just a tree covering the moon. The man who captured the video claimed that the object was not like anything he'd ever seen before. He described it as being oddly shaped and glowing with an intense light. His voice in the video suggests he was genuinely scared and unsure of what he was witnessing.
No, there's nothing fucking in it. I've seen this shit before in my life.
Okay, but on there it's not. But if you look over here, look, you can barely see it. Is that the tree branch? Is that actually?
No. No.
Wait, I see it. Look. There's a big fucking ton of them. You can see it.
It's not. It's. The moon just fucking disappeared.
However, the woman in the background of the video tried to explain to him that it was just a tree covering the moon and not an alien spacecraft. Who do you think is in the right here?
No, this is... I know exactly what's happening because... No, something weird's happening.
Bigfoots are cryptid creatures that have been a topic of interest amongst the paranormal community for decades.
Haley, wait. That's a bear. Haley, that's a bear. Haley. Dude, that's not a freaking bear. Dude.
In this particular video footage, a couple was spending time in the woods, having fun, and capturing videos of their experience. Suddenly, they noticed something moving among the trees ahead of them. At first, they assumed it was a bear, but as they continued observing, they realized that it was walking upright on two legs like a human and using its arms to push branches out of the way as it walked. The creature was covered in thick, matted hair which appeared to be dark brown color. Its face was obscured, making it difficult to determine any identifiable features. The couple was understandably startled and frightened by the encounter and immediately took off running in the opposite direction. Upon watching the footage, many within the paranormal community believed that it matches the description of a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch. However, there are still others who remain skeptical. Regardless, this encounter is just one of many that continue to fuel the fascination and mystery surrounding these elusive creatures.
Wait. That's a Haley, that's a Haley.
Next, we have drone footage from an unnamed rural area. The footage starts off as one of those documentaries from the rural areas, but soon enough, we realize it's not. As the footage plays on, a peculiar and unsettling sight unfolds. At the entrance of what seems to be an old deserted shack in the middle of nowhere, we spot a pale and ghostly figure crouched on the ground, seemingly engrossed in some activity. The nature of this activity remains shrouded in mystery. Moments later, this enigmatic figure becomes aware of the drone's presence and proceeds to exit the shack and move towards the compound. As the figure draws nearer, we can discern that its appearance is both human-like and disfigured, evoking eerie and unsettling qualities. Some refer to this kind of being as a rake or a skinwalker, often associated with otherworldly creatures or even extraterrestrial entities. The questions that emerge are numerous. What might a creature of this nature be doing in a town setting? What could its intentions be in this particular part of town? The footage leaves us with a perplexing and unsettling enigma. As much as I'd love to believe this thing is real and genuine, a part of me believes. No, a part of me knows that this is definitely a hoax. The coincidences are just too numerous, and also, the being looks like it might be a human pretending to be something else.
An observer spotted this strange object in the sky, a metallic-looking sphere, smooth and shiny. As they watched, the sphere occasionally rotated, almost as if it was surveying the area. But the real surprise came at the end of the footage when the sphere suddenly zipped away at an incredible speed, far faster than anything human-made could manage. The footage looks very legitimate, making it even more bizarre. I even asked Julius what he thought it might be, and he was stumped and couldn't provide an answer. What do you guys think it could be? Is it some advanced technology, perhaps something not of this world?
When I hear fairies, I think of Tinkerbell and her crew, quite a huge contrast from what was captured in this footage. This footage was taken by a group of kids who went playing at the playground. While playing near a tree, their attention was drawn to a peculiar creature fluttering in the air, resembling what they initially thought was a dragonfly. Driven by curiosity, the brave kids made the daring decision to climb the tree and get a closer look at the intriguing insect. Little did they know they were in for an unexpected surprise. A humanoid creature flew off of the tree, and they realized all too soon that what they thought to be a dragonfly was an ugly-looking little creature. Scared, they climbed down and ran away. Unlike the CGI goblin, this creature looks much more realistic. Could that be what fairies look like? Have we been misled by Disney to believe that dangerous creatures are actually cute? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Take a look at this image. What do you see? Almost everyone in our team who saw this thought it was some exotic cat. But would you believe us if we told you it was a raccoon? Yes, you heard that correctly, a raccoon. According to the owner of this Trailcam capture, it's an odd-looking raccoon that's often spotted in the area where the Trailcam was placed. They initially thought it was some paranormal creature, but later found out it was just a raccoon suffering from leucism. For those unfamiliar with that condition, it's a rare genetic mutation that affects the pigmentation of an animal's fur or scales or feathers. And that, not the paranormal, is the reason the raccoon you see looks the way it does. But do tell us, which type is your favorite? The usual dark raccoon or this exotic white-looking one? Still on our streak of strange things, we have another footage you will want to see. This footage was taken by an individual who was out of their home with his mom during a storm. We don't know the exact circumstances that had them out long enough to have been caught in a storm, especially when they were in a structure so close to their home. This drone capture is from a vicinity mostly made up of a large plantation with grass in different stages and shades of their colors. If you pay attention further to the north, you'd see the grove of trees in many different lengths, all visible as the sun shines. It's all green grass and tall trees until a dark figure is seen in front of two white pillars that looks like a gateway between Earth and another world. The being is walking without a care in the world. Although we see a dark creature et al., it possesses a human-like gait when it walks. Here's where things get weird. No humans were expected to be in the area where the footage was recorded at the point it was. In fact, think of it more as an abandoned area with little to no people traversing it. Yet we see this tall, dark figure seemingly taking a stroll. This begs the question, what is it? A Bigfoot or a man in a suit? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. In Chinese culture, dragons are a spiritual symbol of strength, good luck, and the yang. Legend has it that dragons are serpentine creatures capable of breathing fire and soaring through the skies. For centuries, dragons were deemed mythical creatures. However, in 2017, everything changed when a dragon-like skeleton was unearthed in a Chinese town. The skeletal remains possess a serpentine form, encapsulating the very essence of the fabled dragon. As news of this extraordinary finding spread worldwide, people were left astounded, grappling with the question of whether this was indeed the real deal. Skeptics chimed in, suggesting the possibility of an elaborate hoax, with claims that the bones could have been meticulously arranged to mimic a dragon's form using fragments from other animals. It's rumored that scientists came around to inspect the bones and take them to their labs for testing, but no result has been released yet, which leaves this a mystery. What do you think, though?
Now, let's dive into some groundbreaking tech news. Google has reportedly announced plans to build 7 nuclear reactors by 2035. These reactors are projected to be powerful enough to supply energy to an entire city. But what's even more intriguing is why they're building them. Google plans to use this energy to fuel its future AI technologies. Think about it, we're less than a decade and a half away from a world where tech companies could be running their own nuclear-powered facilities just to keep up with the energy demands of AI. This might sound like the stuff of science fiction, but it's quickly become our reality. If Google plans go forward, it's only a matter of time before we see a future powered by AI and nuclear energy, transforming the way we think about technology and energy forever. And with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Oh yeah, before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we will post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I will see you in the next one.